Time's up. Admiral.
Here it comes.
Fade in.
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself. But go f yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
What's the matter? Take yourself a great big bite of meat. Taste the pleasure of the highest quality pork around.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
Don't cry for me, Argentina!
You know how much I love Snorlax? I'm gonna prove it to you. These are my slippers, all right? Snorlax. Snorlax slippers. I don't give a crap who knows. I'm a grown man, and I'm rocking Snorlax slippers. I don't give a crap.
Oh, yeah, is that sauce good? Oh, that sauce is good.
This is Harlem, baby, and we doing nothing but blackety blackities. I'm like, listen, sir. Can we just have a superhero show?
The cops are on my back, Luke. You gotta get these blue folks up off me, dog.
I'm like, bruh, how much more of this I gotta watch?
I've been told by lore people for this stuff for House of the Dragon for the books. Yeah, Rhaenyra, she was into dining at the Clam Slam. She was into that.
Clam Slam.
She slammed clams. She dined at the oyster bar. She was all into that. You know what? There is a single reason why I wouldn't want to become a merman. I wouldn't have my penis anymore.
Yo, you let the joint hit the back of your throat. Have you no shame?
Oh, these two girls when you kiss, they're gonna be hot. Oh, yo, Elizabeth Hurley's gonna get butt naked in this.
I was coming in my pants.
Let me do it myself here. Let me get it up real quick. Hey, shut up. Shut up. I didn't mean it like that, you perverts.
Stop touching my penis. Stop doing that. I did not consent to this type of touching. Stop it. It's wrong.
I'm still jerking off in front of my console.
I'm retarded.
I dangled for too long there. That wasn't fun. I'm not gonna try and win hearts and minds, pretend I'm something I'm not. Like a video game. No, it's bullshit. Not real.
What?
Game over, man. It's game over.
But we don't want Revan touched. No.
Agreed.
You don't want anything good touched.
No.
Agreed.
Yeah. Because Disney Star Wars is a bad touch.
It is a bad touch.
Touches you in the bad place.
It's a bad touch.
Show me on the doll where Disney Star Wars touched you.
I need a bigger doll.
Oh, God.
There's no doll left.
Oh, you will taste and see that I am delicioso.
Please, sir, can I have some darkies?
Well, we're talking about people who have serious sexual orientation and gender identity problems. And I'm not talking, and when I say sexual orientation, I don't mean, a dude who likes a dude and a chick who likes a chick. We're talking about people who think that they're non-binary and they don't know how to play with their holes and shit like that.
Oh,
so, Jesus Christ. There is nobody of merit there. It's for their new fan base. That's who D23 is for. Everybody who went there knowing they sniff crotch and suck shit.
I got so excited, I started to pee myself. It was great.
Impressive. The most impressive.
And I gotta say, any person who uses a Funko Pop or gets a Funko Pop immediately disqualifies themselves from any fan discussion.
Unless you're getting it for a mocking reason to make fun of something.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Or if it's a gift from someone.
Both of y'all suck. I hate you both.
If it's a gift from someone who doesn't know better, that's fine. I have a couple of those. But if you're going out collecting Funko Pops,
no, you're retarded. Funko Pops are awesome. I hate myself. I have a problem.
I've got loads of them.
You're a girl. You're allowed to do it. You're a girl.
It's okay for girls. They're exempt. Dre, this is not okay. We need to have an intervention.
I have a problem. I've got no shame. My name is a pimp named Drees, and I believe I've misplaced some merchandise at this residence.
Lord Jesus and the shepherds, where is daddy's money? I will not hesitate for one solitary second to put hands on somebody if I don't have my monies.
I will twerk on her on the bed. I ain't gonna do it in the middle of the dance floor.
That's what I'm. Yeah, whatever.
That's all right.
Why? My brain didn't need that. I'd already seen too many pictures of Shooty today.
What?
Well, there's an image in my mind.
You get nothing. You lose.
I'm colored. Shut up.
Yeah, you know what? This freaking existed. It exists. That exists.
You just imagined it.
I guess. Kind of hurts. I think it's physical.
This is why I do crystal meth.
You got to watch it. You got to hit the like button.
We've got to get it up for him, guys. Come on. Everyone who's watching this
say
video
it
needs
like
to
that.
go over
Don't
there,
say it like that.
And share the video. We got to keep going.
Don't they have to get it up for me? Don't say it like that. God damn it. And these tool bags wouldn't know quality if it walked up and motorboated them. Because, you know, you're going to motorboat quality.
Wait, what?
Quality boobs. You want to motorboat quality boobs. You know?
There we go. All better now. Man, titties are the greatest things on earth.
They really are. Hail and howdy, everybody. Welcome. This is an important roundtable because we've been on a journey to get this particular day. A long, arduous journey. It's actually been a parallel journey. You know, it's two roads been traveling, and they've met on a week of complete and epic failure for two separate industries from companies that deserve all the problems they will now suffer. Before that, hail and howdy, welcome to the round table. We are happy to have you with us on this beautiful Sunday afternoon where we are happy to have you with us. Jed, are you happy?
Yes, I'm very happy. My life is finally fulfilled. I have Assassin's Creed Shadows in my life. It is complete. My soul is whole. I have met my other half, and I will never want for anything again.
I'm trying to think of a way to make that bad, but I'd probably get banned for the words I want to use. Because listen, we're going to talk about it. I've watched you play that game, and I know watching isn't exactly a way to properly review something, but you have played it, so we can get a hands-on take from you, and then I can give color commentary to what I've seen, including tell the story of when I fell asleep. The game was so boring.
Or was it just that I was so boring? Because that might be true.
It was the game. I mean, it's just one cutscene after another of nothing I cared about. And I just put my head back and realized, what's going on? What's going on? I don't know what's happening. So we're going to talk that too. Hi, Dre.
Good afternoon, brothers. Good afternoon. Been a heck of a week. Lots of failure, lots of boredom in Daredevil, just a lot of nothing going on today. I mean, not a lot of nothing, a lot of dumpster fires.
Yes.
But like I've always said, everything has to die so it can be reborn, and everything is dead.
It needs to be a t-shirt for you.
I should make that t-shirt.
I mean, I have a whole bunch of catchphrases I need to put on merch one day, but
I agree with that.
That's your catchphrase. Everything has to die.
Everything has to die. Everything has to die.
Oh man. So yeah, it has been a week. And listen, I had hate-filled fun. We'll call it that. I hated my time, but I'm having fun with the results of the work I put in for years covering Snow White, and now we reach conclusion, and I suffered it. It was bad. Anyway, so hail and howdy to the chat. We're happy to have you here. Hail the Goddess, Algrim, and Ruben X, my mods. Here to keep the peace. Here to make sure that everything stays on the rails, which is not going to happen. Going on down the list. Hail, son of Joxer, how are you? Hail, Blank Server Woman. Yes, good for pissing off stands. I got blocked by a stan, a Zeglian, a couple days ago. All I said, she was just like praising Rachel Zegler. All I said was failure. That's all I said. Failure. And I got the block. It's very easy. If they pay attention, it's very easy because they live in this weird world where she's their goddess. And I don't understand that at all. And that's everybody that's... Oh, no, Hail J. Fraser. I see you there. Hail, good afternoon. Kayla Dare, how are you? And anybody else who isn't chatting and just watching, we are happy, as always, to have you with us on what is always a busy Sunday afternoon. So hit those like buttons. Links are in the description below, and let's get started. We are going to dive right in because we have a lot to talk about. I'm going to give the boys here a chance to catch us up on Daredevil because you have to. We're not going to get to do it next week. So let's take advantage of it right now. Then we will talk Assassin's Creed Shadows. Jed will give us firsthand experience. I've watched a couple separate streams, including Jed's, and I've seen many clips, many memes, and we will talk about the push by Ubisoft and their shills to pretend this success. I mean, you saw the updated one today, Jed, right? Where they
nothing from today.
Oh, now it's 2 million.
Oh yeah, that was from yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, that was okay. Okay, it was yesterday. Point is, well, the articles are coming out today. That's what I'm saying. Now the articles are coming out that they're praising. We got all that in a bag of chips with Assassin's Creed Shadow, and then the piece de resistance, Snow White, live action. It arrived, and I finally saw it. My review is up. If you haven't done here today, go watch it. It's only 21 minutes. I was pithy. I was brilliant. I was funny, and I was dying inside for your entertainment. And I mean, Dre, you haven't seen this.
I will not lay my eyes on that filth.
So, surprise you with some stuff. Jed, did you get around to watching it?
I unfortunately did see it last night. I had a free ticket to a local movie theater, so I did not give Disney any money. Yep. I do want to point that out. Yep. But I did go see it last night, and boy, it was something else.
I didn't lie to you with what I described to you.
No, it was as bad as everyone is saying. The communist message was actually in there. Yep. And on the same level with Assassin's Creed Shadows communist message. Yes. So a lot of commie propaganda this week for me.
That is a theme of the week, commie propaganda. It's everywhere. She wore a little red hood and a cloak as she marched to revolution. It's just right there. I mean, I went into it thinking, okay, I made fun of that it was going to be commie propaganda. And, well, when we talk about it, it's not in your face. It's just sprinkled on different ends of the movie, which reflects the reshoots that they claim didn't really happen. Anyway, we're getting at that. All right, so let's get started. Let's get Daredevil out of the way. Okay? Let's get Daredevil. Dre, you said the word dull before. Boring. I've heard people talk about it. It isn't improving, is it?
I'm gonna be as clear as I possibly can. The 4th episode was a complete waste of my time. I don't even know how to. Dull isn't even the word. It was just a big old waste. It the 3rd episode ended with a tease that we all knew wasn't true. We all knew that Punisher didn't kill White Tiger. And then they went through, they're really rehashing the idea that Matt Murdock is now a bad person somehow. And it's just very bizarre because we have all this rhetoric about, oh, he wanted to kill Bullseye and he's going to get permission from Punisher. Like we already had this rhetoric already in a much better show. We've already done this rhetoric before. Like, when is it okay to kill your villains and all that other stuff? That moral quandary that was already that was already done in a much better show a decade ago. It has already been done, and so now we focus once again on Matt in his day-to-day life, and you got this dude, this black guy. This scene pissed me off more than anything else. So we have a black guy who was stealing fiddle faddle from a convenience store.
Oh God! They use that word. They use that term like 20 times.
I've sort of heard part of this, but I don't know what fiddle faddle is.
Fiddle faddle. Well, okay. Well, fiddle faddle. You had when you were a kid. Did you get the caramel corn fiddle faddle? Adam, do you remember the?
Oh, you mean Cracker Jacks?
Yeah, the Cracker Jacks. Fiddle faddle.
Okay,
It was a different brand. It was a different brand of Cracker Jacks.
Okay, different. Okay, off-brand Cracker Jacks.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So fiddle faddle. Oh, right, duh, Adam, duh. In the black community,
I was gonna say, I lived in suburbia.
had fiddle faddle.
Fiddle faddle was actually a thing. I thought it was a thing like whatchamacallit or just knickknacks. I thought it was a term for like just little worthless items.
Yeah, it's literally a ghetto version of Cracker Jacks. It is actually a real joint.
Oh my God.
It's real, Jed. That's real. That's a real thing.
That's such a dumb name that I assumed it was made up as like a mocking.
I thought you were talking about drugs for a second.
No, it's not made up. They did not make that up for the show. It's real. Fiddle faddle is real. I used to have a box on the top of my fridge when I was a kid with fiddle faddle. God, it sucks being poor. Anyway, so the black guy steals a box of fiddle faddle from the convenience store. And then the cops come, bust him, and they eat it in front of him, whatever. So he gets arrested.
wait, they bust him and eat his candy?
Yes, they eat his candy corn.
They're very corrupt cops. That's what they want to make sure you know is that corrupt cops are bad.
So just so you to establish that these are bad cops. These are bad guys. That the fiddle faddle that was recently stolen, they're eating it in front of the guy in front of the convenience store.
That's not corrupt. That's just dumb.
I can't make this up. So here's the part that blew my kneecaps off. So Matt is sent to represent him as a pro bono, whatever the case may be. So they sit there and have this rhetoric about, oh, the only reason I stole it is because my benefits got cut because I had to be arrested for this and I missed this and now I'm hungry and I'm eating on the streets and it costs more to keep me incarcerated than to feed me. All this crap that's I've heard even when I was young, as a young man, I heard this rhetoric before. Like, oh, if the government took care of me, I wouldn't have to rob these fools. Like all this, that type of energy. So Matt goes and tries to, lower his sentencing because he had like 30 priors.
Yeah, he was saying my life is hard because I've had 30 priors, so I don't want a new prior to make my life harder. Isn't that so bad? It's like, well, you keep committing crime.
You're a career criminal. And then so when he goes and actually gets him just 10 days in county jail, he's like, oh, no, man, I want a probation, man. I want a probation.
No. It's 10 days, including what he's already served.
Yeah, time served.
Matt specifically said you'll be out by the start of next week,
and he gets 3 hots in a cot.
3 hots in a cot, so he's actually going to be fed. Then he has this rhetoric about like, oh, I wouldn't be committing these crimes if they would actually feed me. Blah, 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 blah. I'm sitting there fuming. I'm fuming. You admit that you are a career criminal. And the reason why you commit crimes is because the government has failed you. So it gives me the right to commit crimes. What are you talking about? You belong in jail. You're where you belong. And the whole point is to make Matt look like he's unsympathetic because this guy, who is a career criminal, is basically telling him the system doesn't work for me. That's why I got to commit crimes. And frames like Matt, like, oh, you should be more sympathetic to his needs and blah, 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 blah. And then he feels bad because like people with more money get off and blah, 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 blah. And now he feels like a little sad. He goes back to his girlfriend. They hug it out. And I guess he bangs her or something. I don't know. But like the rhetoric pissed me off so freaking much. I hate that rhetoric of, hey, I'm desperate, so it's okay for me to commit crimes. Let me tell you something, Adam. I've been desperate in my life. I grew up in the inner city. I've seen unspeakable evils. But at no point in my life did I say, hey, you know that corrupt cop that literally kicked me down the street and put me on the front of this hood for no reason? Just because he did that, I'm going to go and start robbing banks. You know why? Because I'm not a crazy psychopathic Criminal. That's not in me. I'm not a criminal. So the idea that, oh, because I've had a hard time or because the government has failed me, I should have the right to take what I need because the government doesn't take care of me. It's absolutely infuriating. But that whole episode was just dull, infuriating nonsense. And I'm hoping that this is the end. I'm hoping because we got this now. This is the 4th episode of the original shot, all the original cuts and all the original crap. So maybe the next few we actually gonna get, Daredevil doing Daredevil things and not Matt Murdock just being some cuck boy walking around doing nothing. Like it's like this is not Matt Murdock, and there's no justification for his behavior. It's just dumb, and it breaks my heart. But I'm hoping that the other half of the season is actually any good. That's
unfortunately, I think there's one more episode of the original run because episode 1 was added in the reshoots.
Oh,
it was originally going to start with episode 2.
Oh,
so
it was going to start with him already being mayor.
So let me ask you this: with these 4 episodes done and 5 episodes left to go, because I believe it's 9 for the season. With how much, and I'll say this as a neutral bystander who has no, outside of wanting the MCU to be shit, because I just wanted, as Dre says, I want it to die and go away. Outside of that, I don't exactly have a horse in this race to care if Daredevil is good or not. Do you think, with the damage that has been done with these 4 episodes, because I've heard more negativity than positivity in the past couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
Do you think these last 5 episodes can salvage the remainder of the season?
That's a tough question, Adam. That's a really tough question because the last 4 episodes. Oh, right. I forgot. We're halfway through the season and we still don't know what's going on. It's the freaking Disney Plus poison. It's the Disney Plus poison when you have 8 episodes of nothing and then you have a finale. Like literally, we're doing the exact same thing. Jay, let me ask you something. What is Kingpin trying to accomplish right now?
I have no clue whatsoever.
Potholes! Fill potholes!
Fill the potholes. He finally did something Kingpin-y with Adam locked up at the end of this episode. The man who was banging his wife while Fisk was in prison. He's locked him up and is torturing him. Finally, Kingpin does something with balls. But
you know what? That's kind of warranted.
It's too late. Yeah, it's too little too late. And it's this hippie dude who's like, no, man, let me out. Yeah, let me out.
You look like Jed.
Yeah, he kind of did.
It looked like Jed. I look at this. Is that Jed in that cage? Like, what the heck happened? But yeah, but what is his plan? Nothing. Nothing's
happened. Nothing's been set up with any of the characters. Fisk, Matt, nothing. We got Daredevil at the beginning of the first episode. We haven't gotten Daredevil again. There's been no suit. There hasn't even been Daredevil season 3 on Netflix wearing the black mask the whole time. I know people, I'm included. I wish we'd seen more of the suit in season 3. That's one of my big problems with season 3. But at least he was out there doing Daredevil work without the suit on. This, he hasn't done anything. He got attacked by cops once and beat them up a little bit. That's the only action set piece involving Matt Murdock so far since the first episode. But I'm going to be honest with you, Dre. Before you started talking about this episode a few minutes ago, I'd forgotten all but one thing of this entire episode. I'd forgotten about the entire storyline with the fiddle faddle. I'd forgotten everything that Matt did. I could not for the life of me remember anything that happened in the episode until you started reminding me. The one thing I remembered was the Frank Castle scene. And that Frank Castle scene, I think that scene is actually pretty good. The conversation with Matt and Frank, there was some decent writing on it that elevated. I think it's the best scene of the show. I don't necessarily think it's as good as the original show, like some people are saying, but there was content there that was of value, and it makes me understand why, with the recent news from John Bernthal saying he refused to be in the original cut of Daredevil Born Again because he didn't like the direction they were going with this character. Based on his comments, this was inserted into this episode at a later date. And I respect him for that because, yeah, he refused to come back for trash and then came back, and the one scene he's done so far has been a pretty decent scene. Seems like he made the right call, I think.
Yeah, and I agree with that. That was the best scene of the whole show. Let's just call it like it is.
Yeah.
Best scene of the whole show, and I gotta give credit where due. Yes, the dialogue was cool and all, but at the same time, this is rhetoric we've already had.
Yeah, it's definitely repetitive.
Yeah, it's like we already had this conflict between them already in a much better light, in a much better confrontation. But as far as scenes go, there was good acting involved. There was passion. There was some pain. There was some anguish. So like once again, I'm not faulting these actors at all. They're doing the best they can with the garbage that's being slung their way. Because one, it doesn't even justify why Punisher's even in the city. But I'm not even going to go into all that.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to get into that. But
why is he sad and with a beard and like what's going on with him?
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no clue on why he's sitting there in an abandoned building jerking off. I've got no clue on why he's doing that. But the fact of the matter is that he did well there. And once again, the acting scenes are still well done. Vincent D'Onofrio is great. Now, here's who I hate. You know who I hate? And one of my favorite characters? I used to love Vanessa. I used to love Vanessa. She used to be one of my favorite characters in the original Netflix show. She is an insufferable, good-for-nothing pig woman now. And I don't know why they did this to her. As in that scene, when the therapist is like, oh, well, tell me about this guy. Tell me about Adam. Tell me about him. And she was like, oh.
His hands were so soft.
I was like, whoa. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like your husband is sitting there in pain, clearly in pain. He's being like, hey, I don't want to talk about this. Like, oh no, his hands were like, I'm like, yo, what are we doing to her, man?
And the whole thing was that Adam was the polar opposite of Fist. That's not what you want to hear on top of anything else. Like, if you're going to cheat while I'm in prison, make it someone who reminds you of me or something like that. It's like, no, this dude is as far away from being you as I could find.
Exactly. And then her description was so dagger-like. And I'm still trying to
sensual.
Figure out, yes. And I'm still trying to figure out, what did Kingpin do to you? I'm still trying to figure out what.
Yeah, he's never been bad to Vanessa. That's the whole point.
He put her on. He put her on to multi-millions and billions and unlimited power, and you just destroy him whenever you feel like it.
He was willing to go to prison for the rest of his life to protect her at the end of the Netflix show. That's how the conflict of the Netflix show was resolved. Is Daredevil was blackmailing Kingpin to stay in prison, or otherwise he would destroy Vanessa's life.
Exactly.
It's kind of a dark moment, and Kingpin was more than willing to take that deal without hesitation.
Without hesitation, to sacrifice his life so that she can live free and with all the benefits that he has created.
And he's not taking the power away from her. She took over the business, got tons of power, and he's like, yeah, you still have power. I just want you to tone it down a little bit while I'm mayor. But yeah, I'm not taking anything away from you. And she's like,
I'm so like they have ruined her. I am so upset because she was like not necessarily a moral compass for him, but she was the only tethering he had to humanity. Essentially, in the original show, this is only tethering of humanity he had, and she was his North Star, Shining Star, whatever they used in season 3. And now she is just an insufferable cow, and he's just kowtowing. Now, granted, I know, and we reveal that he actually did find the boyfriend, and he's beating him or whatever. That which is fine, which is good to actually see that he's doing something that's Kingpin like, but. Essentially, what they've done to her character is insulting, and I hate it. I hate what they've done with her, and it's for no reason. No reason. I'm hurt, Adam. I'm hurt.
I'm missing nothing here. I mean,
no, just watch the Netflix show.
Watch the Netflix show.
Yeah, and it ends well enough that I mean, it's not a cliffhanger. It's not everything resolved, but it's kind of like I'm satisfied. It can end here and be okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
There's still, more stories to tell. It's like it's the riding off into the sunset type ending where it's like, there can be more, but we're happy here.
Yeah, and once again, great show, and what they've done here it ain't Christian. I don't like it.
And I guess I've heard that for people who may have seen more, and gotten early looks at the remainder episodes that it does get better, but I don't feel like that's an excuse.
It's not. It's not an excuse for a show to. Once again, like I was saying earlier, it's the Disney Plus syndrome. Nothing. Finale. Look at all this stuff. Like, no.
It all comes together too fast.
Let's build to something. We're halfway through the season, and we still don't know anything. We don't know why Muse is out there committing grisly murders and draining people's blood. We have no reason. We have no excuse. We don't know, and nobody cares. We don't know what the Kingpin wants.
It's so strange. 4 episodes in, you don't know what is clearly a serialized season.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what the overarching plot is.
I mean, not even close.
I mean, Jed, we talk about this all the time. Back in the day, when real television was made.
Ooh, real television.
You had 24 to 26 episode seasons. And when it's a serialized show, not just an episodic show, you know what an arc is. Early on, they'll do a few episodes anchoring the arc, what it is, but then they'll take breaks and do episodic episodes that are self-contained, but still add to the lore, to the world, to the universe, to character development.
Yes.
In 9 episodes, or 8 episodes, which is the usual for Disney Plus or Netflix or Amazon nonsense, you have no time for filler.
At all.
And what I've heard from you guys and others is outside little snippets of maybe connecting the characters in certain ways, you've got mostly 4 episodes of whiny filler.
Mm-hmm. A lot of whining.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I really at this point don't care if the last 4 episodes, discounting the ones from the original run, is incredible. If they're incredible, it's not going to change it for me, because the metaphor I heard that I absolutely love is, would you still buy Monticello Mansion if it was constructed on Indian burial grounds that were haunted? No.
Yeah, man. It means if I bury my pets, they're going to come back up and kill me.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, it's a nice house, but ghosts, man.
This is, like you said, this is Disney Plus fare. This is normal current day MCU flair, and it's not getting any better. And just to wrap this up, this is, as we've been talking about repeatedly for weeks now, this is the chain reaction of Marvel MCU for the rest of the year. Because they announced a couple days ago, you know what's coming out in June? Riri Williams finally lands to be a criminal. Because remember, this show is about her stealing so that she can have money to do what she wants and then be a hero. Whatever. So Riri Williams drops in Ironheart, drops in June, I believe. I think it's June 24th.
And we don't have a trailer yet? Not even a teaser?
That's a real good point.
They are going to drop this thing at midnight in the dark of night all at once. I'm saying
you think it's going to be all at once?
They're going to echo. Dude, this thing's been on the shelf for 2 years.
I don't even think people remember that she was in Black Panther 2. Like,
nobody even remembers Black Panther 2.
Oh, I think people remember Namor's costume, and that's it.
I've been seeing somebody. The shills have been out the past couple of days putting Black Panther 2 clips on X a lot. It's one of those things. Like, look, Namor punching somebody. This is the MCU. It is. I wish I had a better joke for it, but I'm just going to say it. It basically is the definition of disappointment right now. That's what the MCU is. It was once something fun and enjoyable, and for the past 5 years, nothing but 98, 99% disappointment, with like blips of, oh, this was sort of okay, but not really, because it's still all leading to the same disastrous place. Avengers movies where we don't even know who the Avengers are. So, all right. So I guess we'll come back to this in a couple weeks. I guess in 2 weeks we'll be able to find out how you guys feel about episodes 5 and 6. So I'm sorry that everybody who was hoping this was going to be a knockout, I'm sorry that you got crap.
I was looking forward to you.
I'm sorry for you. I'm not sorry for the MCU, if that makes any sense.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Right. Okay. So, Next topic. Assassin's Creed Shadows. Jed, you've played how many hours now?
15. Like, I'm pretty far into it.
Okay, 15 hours in. What's happening?
That is an excellent question. But I'm not the only one on this panel who's played it, though, right? Dre, this game was made for you. You played it, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was definitely made for me, and not under any circumstance where I'd lay my fingers upon my controller to violate the sanctity of the church by playing this garbage. I will not be a part of it.
But you get to be a black man who's going to sodomize a tiny Japanese man.
Who's a they, them? There's literally a non-binary character in this game. I haven't met this they, them yet. Yeah. I haven't met this character yet, but I am aware of this character.
I was right. I confirmed with Dermy. He's going to romance the hell out of the they, them.
Oh, yeah, he is. I'm going to stick with the scissoring. That's the direction I'm going to go.
Hey. So he's going to Sasuke out in the cold.
Yes.
I mean, the darkness.
I'm 15 hours into the game, mainly doing main quests, and I haven't played as Yasuke since the very, very beginning of the prologue. Like, you play as half an hour as him at the very beginning when you find out he was a slave brought over from by the Portuguese to Japan, then a Japanese warlord.
Who instantly speaks Japanese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for no reason. They never explain it. And a Japanese is like, he looked to the side and saw a sword. He's got the spirit of a warrior. I want to buy him. And then cut 6 months later, no montage, no nothing. He is the best samurai in the army. He's even called a one-man army.
Yes.
Of course he is.
And he tears his way through dozens and dozens of corpses in this attack. He kills a ton of people. And then it cuts to a cutscene where he's suddenly on a horse, overlooking the battle, having never been in the battle, saying, "There's so much death. Do we really have to do this?"
Wait, did you have a Japanese accent?
It goes back and forth from African to Japanese.
Yeah, the game
This sounds really, really bad. There's a reason why I was playing Ghost of Tsushima the other day.
Oh, such a better game. But it's all on the rails. The entire prologue, I can walk 10 feet to the left or 10 feet to the right.
And I confirmed it with Dermy last night. We were talking about it. He says, yeah, it's on the rails. I get no choices. And he got to the tea ceremony scene that you described to me, and he said the same exact shit you did. I asked him about it. Same exact thing. And the whole thing makes no sense in the terms of they spend all this time, all this money, and we've seen in the lead up, the build up, the marketing, you're going to roam Japan. You're going to do this. You've been on the rails for 15 hours, Jed.
Yeah, and this is an Assassin's Creed game. I should be able to explore everything, climb nearly anything. I can't climb shit. If I can't jump high enough to grab the lip of a rock, that's it. I have to stay on the road. I have to stay on all the roads to get anywhere. And all of it is like when you follow someone in a quest, you can just hold A and then let go, and your character will just follow the person you're following, and you don't have to touch anything. And same thing with your horse. And it's trying to convince me not to engage with the world. At every single opportunity, it's like, no, don't engage with anything. Go to the tea party. You'll have fun at the tea party.
I mean, perfect example. Let's get in the Wayback Machine. Assassin's Creed 2. You're in Venice. You're in Florence. You're in these classic, iconic Italian cities. I went everywhere in those. I went everywhere. In then Brotherhood, I went to the Colosseum. I climbed all over the Colosseum. In Unity, I climbed to the top of every historical landmark in that game. In Syndicate, I climbed to the top of every historical landmark in London. And I did all of this before I played the main game. Because Jed, you can agree with me on this. What do you do is, first thing I do, I don't care what's going on. I'm going to every zone, and I'm getting to my perch point, to the lookout point, so I can unlock fast travel, and I can see everything going on at all times. That's the first thing. So I take that. I'll spend 4 hours going everywhere, and this game hasn't let you do that, has it?
No, not at all. You can barely climb anything. Where you can climb, this is PlayStation stuff where it's painted. The rocks are painted where I can climb up. I can't climb walls that look like brick walls with bricks jutting out visibly. Can't climb that. Why would you be able to climb that? You got to go to this section where the bricks are yellow for some reason. That's where you can climb. And in a normal game, that wouldn't be that big of a deal. But again, this is an Assassin's Creed game. It's famous for giving the players ultimate control of where you go, how you go, and just ultimate exploration through parkour. That isn't available. It's so on the rails. It's unbelievable. And the few side quests that I've done are incredibly boring, just classic fetch quests. But the problem is most of the main quests are fetch quests too. When it's not flashbacks, it's fetch quests. That's what I've done so far. And I've already killed 4 out of the 10 Templars.
Oh, man.
And they're just, you just walk and say, hey, that's a Templar, by the way. You want to stab him? Sure, you can stab him.
Jed, don't you want to just collect dogs for your base?
Aww.
Oh, the base building is ridiculous.
Don't you want to collect dogs? Because you can collect dogs and you can just place them around in the base. So the fat little Japanese kid can be happy. Look how many dogs you can put there. What? I mean, Dragon Lady, she's getting all girly on this because, of course, that's
sorry. They look cute.
I'm gonna ban you one day for this. You know that's.
They're cute, but they don't serve a purpose. They're focusing on stuff like this.
Exactly.
Like if this was an add-on feature, just a little thing in the game, whatever. But it's one of the few things that actually works. The game is buggy as hell. I don't know if you saw any of the clips.
Talk about the bugs.
Oh yeah.
Talk about the bugs. Talk about the bugs.
Oh yes.
I put a few clips on Twitter, and in the first stream at the very beginning when you meet Yasuke and the warlord who's like, you saw a blade in the background, you're a warrior, I want you. Right before that, he shows up on horseback without a face, without a body. He's just PlayStation 1 graphic, less than that. Like he is 8-bit, just standing there, this tan humanoid figure just floating like, and then suddenly he comes into full focus. And it's not a matter of the computer not being able to do it because everyone else is rendered perfectly. They switch to a close-up of Yasuke and I can see the pores on his skin, but can't see this dude's face.
And then you got the faceless horde.
The faceless horde, yeah, it's that same phenomena just popping up after that everywhere. I call it the faceless horde. Just run into a village. There's 20 faceless horde, and there's lore being built on it in my stream where they're shapeshifters, and that's the big antagonist. It's a scroll invasion of feudal Japan, and I walk up to them before they realize that I'm there. It's like, oh shit, I gotta put on my face.
Explain how bad the AI awareness system is for detection and combat.
Well, there are 2 modes. There's the mode where they can see me through buildings and across camp, or I can walk up, look them in the eye, stab their friends, and they'll be like, I'm tired. I'm going to sit down.
Nice.
Those are the 2 modes for AI detection in a stealth game.
And then there was the one where you went up to the guy and suddenly he had you in like a vice grip and he was kicking your ass. And you hadn't even done anything yet, and he was just standing there, and suddenly he has you. Or there's the being prone and walking around the ground while they're just going like this over you. I mean,
yeah, they can't see the ground.
Yeah,
at their feet.
What's the combat like?
So when it's the stealth assassination part of the combat, when it works, I actually really enjoy stealth is now a way, the parkour is now a way. When it all works, that stuff is actually good, and I like the addition of prone when it works. Those are the caveats of those. But when you're in actual open combat, it is button mashing. It is just button mashing. There's no finesse. I'm just spamming the attack button, and the person dies. I might need to parry if someone comes up behind me and like there's multiple enemies. That's the only time I need to worry about parrying or dodging or anything like that. There's no finesse. This isn't like Odyssey. I love the combat of Odyssey where it's very much sidestep based. You leap in, stab, leap out, stab. Like there's timing to it. You have to get good at the game. I'm playing on expert mode on Shadows, and I've rarely come across an individual antagonist who poses any threat to me whatsoever. I do die sometimes, but that's usually when stealth fails because they see me through a building and 50 people run at me. That's when I have problems.
And you're just still mostly playing as Naue. You're just first getting to Yasuke, and
I'm not even close to Yasuke yet. I haven't even seen him, interacted with him since the very beginning.
And I've heard he just mows through people.
Mm-hmm.
He just mows them down.
He's incapable of stealth or climbing. Like the vantage points, you can't unlock the the fast travel points as Yasuke. Most of them he can't climb to. That's a problem in an Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah, it's a
where
big problem.
one of your protagonists is incapable of parkour and incapable of unlocking fast travel points.
Yeah, it's almost as if they didn't actually make an Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah,
and they just wanted to, I guess, promote Asian hate in a game.
That's a good one.
I go ahead. No, you say something.
Well, I just want to move on to the writing real fast because
move on to that too. Yeah,
it's perfect. So yeah, the combat's broken, everything's broken. But when stealth and parkour, that's one thing I do need to reiterate. There are things to like. When the game works, stealth and parkour is good. When it works, which isn't, half the time. But when it comes to the writing, so I spent most of my time with Naue, right, Dre? And this is the morality that she shows. And this isn't a matter of different dialogue options and I get to choose her morality. All these choices I'm going to lay out for you are forced upon me. So she starts the game by this is just an aside. Her village is getting attacked by this invading army. Her dad, who's an assassin, who hasn't told her that he's an assassin, gives her a hidden blade and says, "Hey, we're hiding something super secret out in the woods. Go protect it. This blade is the key to it. Don't let anyone in." I walk straight there, open the door, and let the bad guys come in and steal the thing because I opened the door and showed them where it's at. And in that sequence, I mow down tons of people, just killing left, right, and center, no qualms whatsoever. So it implies, yeah, I'm a skilled combatant. And then after that, after a little while, it flashes back to the day before that, and I find a dead deer that this old lady thought was a ghost, but that's a completely different thing. I find a dead deer, and I track down the people who killed it, and they just lost track of it after they'd shot it. They're starving soldiers running away from a battle on the run for their lives. I'm like, "You killed the deer. How dare you? I'm going to beat your ass for that." And I've only got a wooden sword because I just came from training, and I start beating their asses. And the character literally says, "I wish I had my katana," saying, "I wish I could kill you for killing this deer and not starving to death." And then a different flashback that takes place right after that, she kills her first person. And it's in a desperate combat situation where, the classic, she's getting choked out, reaches for a weapon, and barely survives type thing. And it's the first time she's ever killed anyone. And she's looking at her hands covered in blood. She's like, "Oh my God, I've killed someone." And then it gets to the first battle of the attacking army, and she just watches her dad while she's crying, covered in blood from her first murder, as her dad and the assassins attack this army, and the music suddenly goes.
The music, and you just completely cut out there. We didn't hear it at all. Didn't hear it at all.
That's probably a good thing because it sounded bad.
I thought he cut out.
No, his microphone saved us, is what it did.
It really did. But it was literally, it's a guitar.
The music is terrible. There's unnecessary modern day guitar riffs going on in this.
During this sad moment when she's defending her village, killed the first man she's ever killed, it goes into that.
Mixed with bad anime intro music or mid credit roll music.
There's a Japanese pop singer singing through this.
Yeah, it's so inappropriate. And what little immersion you may have going on just breaks it instantly. Especially if you're somebody like me who's just watching it. I'm sitting there going, "Man, why am I listening to heavy metal guitar riffs?"
Wait, they don't play like Japanese? What's a zither? Is that
sometimes there's Japanese, but during the epic moments, it's modern day anime wannabe.
Of course
and
it is.
Like you said, the writing is dog shit in this. It not only is writing bad, the voice acting is horrendous.
Oh, it's so plain. The Naue is either, "I'm so sad about this," or "I hate you." Those are her only emotions, no matter what's going on.
Yeah, there's no nuance.
There's a moral quandary that happened. So remember, she wanted to murder poachers, and then a few hours later killed her first person and was emotionally distraught by it. And then she goes to this tea party, which is boring as shit. And there happens to be, it's organized where 3 women in this village who like guns are there also. And I'm tracking down a sniper because my dad was partially killed by a sniper, right? And the assumption is, well, there can only be 3 women in this giant village that can like guns. So one of these 3 women helped kill my dad. That's her logic. And she finds out one of them likes to kill bandits. That's her hobby. She's like, "Oh, I wish I was out there killing bandits right now. Thieves are the scum of the earth. I want to murder thieves." And now it's just, "But what if they're feeding their families?" I'm like, "These are bandits. They're waylaying people on the road, murdering them, and now it's just like, but children could starve. You should let them have what they need to survive. A
come
total
on,
contradiction of
man.
the poaching scene, but for some reason, I don't suspect this woman as being the woman, the sniper who helped kill my dad. And so there's these other two women. One who says a line that the sniper lady said, "You're like a cat with a silver coin,"
which like
and
warning.
you'd think, all right, maybe that's actual evidence that I can use to investigate this woman. Maybe she is the woman I'm looking for. After the tea ceremony, I'll follow her, try to get more information on her. That's how I assumed it was going to go. But after the tea ceremony, a pop-up comes up saying, confront this woman or confront this woman. It's like, I'm not ready to confront. I've got no evidence on them. I want to investigate them. But it's like, all right, this lady said the same line. I'll confront her. I don't want to run up and start accusing her or anything, but this is my choice. So I choose the lady who said the same line, and it cuts to black. And then when it comes back in, I'm chasing this woman down the street with one button option when I catch up to her. Assassinate.
Oh, God.
And so I kill her because I'm on the rails. I've got no choice but to kill this woman. And I investigate. She's got evidence in her pocket that says she's not the woman I'm looking for. She's an innocent woman that I murdered for no reason. And a few days before, I killed my first man and was sobbing and emotionally distraught by it. This is the first time in the game that I killed an innocent person. You'd think there'd be a reaction. She goes, but she's rich, so it's okay. And I'm going to go kill the...
Down with the bourgeoisie.
It's straight up like, yeah, but she's rich and probably corrupt, so yeah, I'm okay having killed her. And then I just go kill the other girl without investigating farther, and luckily the other girl happens to be the one I was looking for.
Wait. Let's just remove the commie nonsense out just for a hot second. Wait a minute. So let me just make sure I understand how these choices work. If you chose the wrong person, you still had to kill them, and you had no other option, no interrogate. No takedown.
Yeah.
Just straight
she
up
was
murder.
running away from me. I guess I yelled at her, and she started running away from me. So I chased her, and
they trick you with the line too to get you to do it. They trick you with the line too to get you to go after her with the line.
Oh yeah, the cat with the silver coin line. Yeah. I think they wanted me to pick that choice and kill the innocent woman.
Here's the only question that really matters now, Jed. As far as the gameplay is concerned, was there a negative effect on the gameplay post the murder?
No. I mean, I assume that if I'd chosen the other woman for no reason whatsoever, it would have cut to the same chasing her down and stab her. And I was like, oh, I got the right girl. The only thing that would be different is she got home and she had some guards that I had to kill first. So I guess that would be the only negative.
God. So no negative meaning as in you murdered somebody.
Consequences.
Oh no real consequences. It was just harder to kill the right girl a little bit.
And here's the thing. I brought this up to Jed yesterday when he was telling me about this. Go back to Syndicate, where they actually have a investigation, basically algorithmic program built into the game where as Evie, you can solve crimes and you can get the crime wrong in that. You have to get it right. You own it. You have the proprietary ownership of that kind of thing for these particular games, for this franchise, and you don't implement it in a thing where you clearly have to figure out who's your Templar target.
That's a main staple of the game is investigating people to find out if they're Templars. Not, ooh, you like guns? You must be this one girl I saw with a gun one time. Oh, you're not, but you're rich, so it's okay. It must be the other girl who likes guns. And that's it.
And this just shows to Goya that you cannot make a game when you hire literally over 2,000 people to make this thing that we now know, this is fact, that the development team, the majority of development team that worked on Shadows had next to no experience making a AAA game, let alone a quadruple A game. I mean, it
really shows.
Because we've now seen it's been leaked. Dre, have you heard how long the credits are for this game?
I've heard that they are quite extensive.
Now, we're all gamers here. You've just spent between, let's say, 40 to 100 hours on a game. You've put a lot of time in. You're invested. You've done everything you can. You've earned your victory. There's a certain satisfaction in sitting back and watching the credits roll. Whether they and there's various kinds of credits. Sometimes you'll sit through it because you're waiting maybe for a stinger or something like that, or you're watching cutscenes from the game replay with the credits, and you're listening to a game that more often than not in these days has a killer soundtrack. But at most, I'm happy to sit about 8 to 10 minutes, roughly a couple of songs worth on a track. Sometimes they go a little bit longer, but you know, if it was a game, I'll sit there. I've earned it. And they have the feature also you can speed it up. This thing's over 2 hours long.
Oh my stars!
Oh no!
2 hours.
Oh God!
What? Well, obviously it has to be because he had over 2,000 people working on this game.
Oh my God!
And the stands explain this away as, why do you care? It's skippable. And our response is, there's 2,000 people working on it. It should be fucking good.
Yeah, and we just, and once again, proves the stands are not gamers. A real gamer wants to enjoy the credits. I've just accomplished something. I'm now decompressing. I'm enjoying. I'm basking in my victory of completing this game.
Good Lord.
I don't want. I mean, that's a movie. I could go watch a movie.
Oh my!
Even if you turn it, even if it has a high-speed option and cuts it in half, that's still a movie. An hour.
That's
TV
crazy.
show. How much time is wasted? They had to, and think about it. When we're going to talk about now what the budget is for this game, what they need to succeed.
God.
Dre, how much time do you think they had to put in to do a 2-hour credit roll?
Oh my God, a 2-hour credit roll alone, man. That's insane. I have never seen one that long ever in all my career.
No.
That's good Lord.
How many of those people worked in a sweaty dungeon just to make that sequence?
Oh my God. Like at least 100 of them for a 2.5-hour run.
Depends on the country. Well, this is France, so I don't know.
Well, most of those names are Indian. That's what people have been pointing out. It looks like they've, put a lot of their workforce in India because a lot of those names were Indian.
Outsourcing.
Oh my goodness. All right, so that's where we're going to go now with this. So Jed's given a pretty quick breakdown of all the problems with this, from the combat to the broken graphics. And the graphics stuff, they're choppy, Jed, aren't they? The way the characters move around, it's not fluid in any way, shape, or form.
There's a lot of lag.
Stiff lag, load screens. You suffer a load screen like every 5 minutes.
It's gotten better after my second stream. I reinstalled the game and there was a patch that came out and things are working better. I don't just freeze and run in place for 5 minutes anymore. The load screens don't take 5 minutes a piece, but it's still choppy, dropped frames all the time. The facial expressions are basic. The facial expressions in Black Flag over a decade ago are superior to this game. It's just and then when you're mad, and that's it. That's all it's got.
But we are now, what is it? It dropped on Thursday, right? Dropped on Thursday? The mistake drop, because they dropped it like 6 or 7 hours earlier than it was supposed to drop.
So the fake drop, or the accidental drop, was late Wednesday night, but the official release date was Thursday.
Yeah. So this thing's been out for almost 5 days at this point. And we've talked about what a successful launch looks like. We've seen what successful launches look like in the recent. We saw, and now we're talking different types of games, but it's what we got. Rivals, when that dropped, that thing barnstormed to huge numbers.
That's true.
Other games out recently that have suffered maybe controversy or not, like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, had a decent start, all that kind of thing. But they talked about actual copies and people playing. Jed, what has been the first thing that Ubisoft and their army of shills, literal army of shills, have tried to say is their milestone? What was the first one from the other day?
Was it Steam or the tweet first?
The tweet.
The tweet. They just came out and said, "Yeah, 1 million players! Yay!" No context, no metrics, no references to anything. It's just the official Assassin's Creed Twitter account just goes, "Yeah, 1 million players played this in this day."
Players.
player. What does that mean? And then you have to account for all the the sub evidence for that. So they were literally giving away codes to the game on their Twitter account in the days leading up. It's like, hey, here's 20 codes. Everyone jump on it and try to get the game before someone else. They were giving away free copies of the game, and their other metrics was Steam. It was the highest selling game of that day. Well, yeah, it's the highest selling game on the day of its release during the big Steam sales event where everything's discounted except for Shadows. So yeah, of course it makes the highest dollar amount on its day of release. Who fucking cares? And then there's the Steam charts, which we'll probably do in a second. But yeah 1 million doesn't mean anything, and there's an argument being made that players is being quantified in the same way that a view does. If you play it, take a break for a little while, and restart the game and play again, that counts as 2 players. So people played the game 1 million times its opening day.
Yep. And that's the thing.
That's not sales. If they had said 1 million sales, that would have meant something.
And we have to understand, when you say players, where are we tracking the players? Are we tracking them through the Ubisoft account, the Ubisoft Play thing, where you get it for free, essentially, because you're renting it? Are we talking Steam? Are we talking Xbox, PlayStation?
Well, no, that's an important thing to remember because, for those who don't know, if you have Ubisoft Plus, you get Shadows for free. So are they counting a bunch of people who have Ubisoft Plus but aren't playing the games? Like, hey, it's in their library. They can play if they want. Is that being counted?
Nope. Well, I mean, probably no. I mean,
it shouldn't be.
No. I didn't mean nope for that. I was thinking something else. It is being counted because they have to fudge the numbers. Because then last night they came out with, oh, it's up to 2 million, everybody.
Still no context, no explanation. Just, hey, there's 2 million players now, 2 days after release.
Yeah, you want to take a look at the Steam chart?
Yeah.
Take a look at that. Let's take a look at that. This is their peak today of the weekend, 64K.
So opening day, it only got up to 41K, Dre, for a new game. And for context, Dragon Age Veilguard, which is universally described as an abject failure, got over 70,000 its first day on Steam. But this is great, Dre. That means so many people are playing this game. They're literally using that number as a good thing. And my favorite is from Games Radar. They said, hey, look, it beat Assassin's Creed Valhalla's opening Steam day peak. Well, the context for that you need is Valhalla didn't come out on Steam when it initially released. It came out 2 years later.
Yep, that's it. And these numbers, not only are they abysmal, but it doesn't even put a dent in what's necessary.
I mean,
Ubisoft's going to go under because of this thing. I mean, this isn't the success they needed.
64,825.
I mean, that means
these people need 100 million people to buy this game.
I mean, seriously. We've talked about this. We talked about it with Veilguard. Veilguard needed 13 to 15 million copies to break even.
That's correct.
This thing needs. But the budget is well over 300 million for this game. Well over.
Yes, there's an estimation. I don't have the final numbers. It was an estimation between 330 and 370 million dollars.
Oh man, that's Disney.
Unspeakable amounts of money.
I think it's pretty fair to say this needs $1 billion to break even.
Yeah, which means 10 to 15 million copies sold. Now, we said, trying to be fair and with a little bit of, I guess, conservative estimation, we said they might sell 5 million in this opening rush. That ain't happening, is it?
That's not happening.
No, it's not.
There's no reports on sales. If Ubisoft actually thought the sales were good, they'd be bragging about that instead of players. But they've been very quiet on how many copies have been sold.
They're in bad shape here. They're in bad shape.
I feel cowardly for not trying to take a harder stance that they would bomb this hard. But at the time, I honestly believed that enough normies would not be paying attention and they would just see Assassin's Creed and go buy a game. But apparently everybody's paying attention to this. This has broken through into normal societal zeitgeist of how disrespectful, how everything. The Japanese government itself got involved with this last week. Nobody is excited for this game, and it's proven. We have a mega flop, and like Jed just said, this is it. I mean, we predicted this. We said it was going to happen. It's just we didn't know what way, shape, or form. And we're still not exactly sure what way, shape, or form is going to happen. But Ubisoft is going under.
It's got to happen.
I don't think it's even up for a debate at this point. The numbers, not only these numbers bad, but the amount of money that has been dumped into this game.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the most expensive game ever made, but it's got to be up there.
Well, think about it like this. Think about this. Outlaws was one of the most expensive games Ubisoft ever made at something like over $400 million with the marketing.
So,
They admitted it too. They admitted it. And this game is no different.
No.
So that means back-to-back failure.
Yeah, this is going to be a disaster.
Back-to-back
this
failure.
disaster is going to be biblical. This level of failure is actually quite impressive. It's impressive to see that we actually lived to see this. That this game, let's just say by some Jesus Christ miracle, this Jones sells $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
It won't save the studio.
No.
That is how that's how bad they're in. How bad of a situation they're in.
And here's what
it won't do anything.
Here's what fascinates me. And maybe it's because they're paid and they have to do it, or maybe it's because they're retarded and there's just their room temperature IQs. But the shills that are out there pushing this now, our pet retard Dermy, he's our pet retard. We put him out there and we let him go sometimes. He is good for a few things, and one of them is being a shit stirrer on occasion on X. He will just go in there. He has no shits given about picking a fight with anybody. And he picked a fight with this unique individual, the Mighty Keith, who we all now call the Mighty
battle.
Queef.
This battle is going insane.
Dermy, this guy started pimping Assassin's Creed Shadows, and all Dermy said, he quote tweeted, just said one word: shill. That's all Dermy said. He didn't even go like 12-year-old girl constant harassment campaign. He just said shill. And it started this chain reaction meltdown from the Mighty Queef and his Hassan F boys, because this guy's also a Hassan Piker fan. So we're now getting into lolcow territory and true bullshit of the dregs of social media influencers. Okay. The shitstorm that started, and these guys went after Dermy. Some of us got involved too for shits and giggles, because I tried to get the block from this guy just because I was bored that day. I was just bored, and I said some horrific things. I know I did, but it's what I do. It's fun for me. But this guy, here's the tweet that Jed mentioned, the 1 million players thing. So go check on that boy. Now we thought he might have been talking about Dermy, so of course Dermy replied. And started it up again, and they all went after him. But then even I got in on it, and I simply said, all I said was this. And I don't get any real traction because I'm not much on Twitter. But I simply said, and I'm going to save this because it's in my own timeline. I can easily find it again. Remember this when Ubisoft files for bankruptcy later this year or gets bought out. Remember a shill who pretended everything was all right because they gobble corpo cock. I mean, this is they do it without shame. This game is failing on levels, and you still have guys like this and others who are going like there. Oh my God, I'm playing this on the PlayStation Pro, and look at the grass moving. Look at the snow melting in this time lapse. Isn't it beautiful? It's ridiculous. And I don't understand that behavior. If you got your paycheck, say what you will, but then run away. But they get their paycheck, and then they fight with people online about this stuff. We're going to come back, I would say, in about 5 to 6 months. And we're going to be talking about the complete and total dissolving of Ubisoft. Whether it's bankruptcy. I'm leaning towards bankruptcy at this point because not even Tencent wants to buy them at this point. Because it's not worth the money of buying more shares. Because if you just wait, you're going to get your choice to try and bid on the IPs at a drastically reduced price. Why buy? I mean, honestly, this is a case of I'd rather just buy the milk than buy the cow.
Yeah, I'd lean towards liquidating, like just spreading the IPs to the wind. It's probably the best thing to happen too.
Yeah, give somebody else a chance.
I mean, with the other big acquisitions that we've seen, how many of them have proven successful? What Xbox bought Bethesda a few years ago, right? How well is Bethesda doing? How well is Activision Blizzard?
It's still Bethesda. That's the thing.
Just with all these acquisitions, I don't remember, or I can't think of a single one that became profitable after the acquisition in recent years.
Yeah,
I don't know, Drake. Is there anyone who's benefited off an acquisition in the last few years?
I think just no.
Not even the Japanese companies. I mean, Square Enix had to divest themselves of the.
Right now, there's no one that's going to be able to benefit over maybe 5 years from any acquisition. No one is able to make it rain right when they get their hands on it, because 9.5 times out of 10, acquisitions happens when the brands are at their absolute lowest point. And so when a brand is absolutely dead and a studio can no longer maintain it, or is hemorrhaging so much money that they got to go to the freaking blood bank to just keep their eyes open, it's already pretty much a wrap. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that another studio wants to acquire Assassin's Creed and revive it. It's going to take some time, not just to make the game, but also to salvage the reputation that's already been done. The salvage reputation, brand murder it spreads over. Like, oh, you owned it now. Maybe there might be some people that open their eyes and be like, hey, let's give it a chance because you got a new sheriff in town. But the majority of people are like, hey, well, the last one sucked, so why would I risk my dollars now? Yeah. So the brand is already now the brand is officially dead. The brand is dead. Yeah. So now there's a chance for someone to get it and bring it back to life. But it's been the last one I can think of was the acquisition that actually worked, of just an IP that made a gajillion dollars. Oh man, that's a good question. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of one. It will probably be something that was remastered, that was from 20, 30 years ago, that got a new life, more than likely, but nothing for an IP that's dropping new hits. Not that I can really think of off the top of my head.
Nothing. And hold on a second. Dom, you said we all love and protect Dermy. No, of course I was going to call you out. I don't want to love and protect Dermy. No. But Dom H makes up for it by gifting 5 memberships to the channel. Thank you, Dom, for your support. As always, my friend, I appreciate it. And if you got a gifty, you have access to all my old playthroughs that are in there for gaming. You could sit back and relax and just leave it on. Watch me actually try and be good at games. I try. I do the best I can. Sometimes I am a boomer. I can't dodge when I want to. You said the word love, Dom. You said the word love and Dermy in the same description. Love and support. Same thing. You weren't to use the word love. Love and Dermy. No.
I love watching Dermy suffer.
Yes. That's how you phrase it. Anyway, all right. Thank you, Dom, for the gift of memberships as always. Okay. All right. We got 2 more topics here. One I forgot to mention at the beginning thing, but that's our discussion topic. We have this is earned. Snow White. Live action 2025. Delayed 2, almost 3 years from its original release date. And this was never going to work because of Rachel Zegler. There are some out there who say, oh my God, this movie. I literally saw today some people saying this movie's failing because of Gal Gadot. That's why
Gal Gadot is the best part of this movie. Absolutely, unequivocally, but for all the wrong reasons. Her acting is so horrendous that you have to laugh at it. It's not offensively bad like Rachel Zegler's acting where you just want to bash your own brains in. Her main song that Gal Gadot has, I don't even remember what the song is about. But yeah, she's singing about murdering Snow White, right? And it is just, oh my God, it's gloriously bad. I was entertained through all of it. I want to see a Gal Gadot musical. Just beginning to end. Tell her it is the most dramatic role of her life, and it will be the funniest movie in human history.
Nobody in this movie can sing. I mean, see, people say Rachel Zegler can sing. She's a soprano, and I went to a reliable source to listen to it, and the description was, yes, she's a soprano. Yes, she can sing within her range, but she's got a tiny, weak voice compared to true sopranos who can belt it out. And
yeah, she's a bad soprano. Still a soprano, though.
Don't need microphones and don't need auto-tune. They auto-tune the hell out of this movie. And nobody can sing. And out of the Jed, how many songs are in this? Like 7 or 8 songs?
There's more than that. It's
every
constant.
5 minutes, it's a song. And
they're all new songs.
Yeah, except for 2 of them. And one of them is butchered. There are actually both the 2 original songs are butchered. Hi ho, off to work we go. That's butchered. And then Whistle While You Work is butchered.
Okay, so Dre, did you ever see the original Snow White? Do you know?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, you remember the Whistle While You Work, the having the animals clean up the house is a nice thing to do.
And she cleans with them.
Yeah, and she cleans with them, and it's like, hey, we're in this.
She teaches the dwarves how to clean and all that.
No, the animals.
Yeah, the animals. The animals come into the house.
Yeah, in the new version, it's to teach the dwarves a lesson. And the animals, it was whistling because that's what the birds could do. That's how they could participate in the song, right? Because they couldn't talk. Dopey still can't talk, but what she says is, you should whistle instead. Whistling is the secret song your heart sings. And so she teaches the dwarves how to whistle.
You need confidence.
And none of the other dwarves knew how to whistle either. They're like, what is that? We can whistle? What's whistling? Oh my God. And then she basically slave drives them. It's like, clean the fucking house. That's what the song is now. It's just her. And the film is so inconsistent. At some points, it's like the worker should own the means of production. Kami. But I'm the bestest ever, and I should rule all of humankind. It is my destiny to teach you how to be better.
The movie starts where they redefine how her name gets. She's born during the middle of a blizzard. We can confirm that now. The movie's out. That was leaked, but now it's confirmed.
So
and then,
the leak was that she survived a blizzard. Like as a kid, she'd go out into a blizzard and somehow survive it. No, this is just she was just in a carriage. They're like, hey, there's snow outside. We should name this baby Snow.
Snow White. Not even Snow White. Just Snow White. Snow White. That's the thing. They call her Snow White instead of just Snow. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so then there's this whole backstory of how her parents were such good king and queen, and everybody shared everything.
Communism,
we all went and picked apples together and made baked goods and ate them. It was glorious.
These people have no subtlety with the apple shit in this movie. They're like, this movie's famous for apples, so we could put apples in every scene. So they're making apple pies at the beginning, and that's how communism works. When the queen sends Snow White out to the forest to get murdered by the huntsman, take her out to the apple grove. And the huntsman, instead of putting a pig's heart in the box as proof,
an apple.
He puts an apple in the proof to the queen. And is surprised when she isn't okay with it. She doesn't look at it until the mirror says, hey, Snow White's still alive. And she looks in the box and she's like, it's an apple.
And Jed brings it up. That scene where the huntsman confronts Snow White perfectly encapsulates all the bad writing and bad acting in this movie. It really is the moment where, wow, I'm watching this, and basically Snow White is staring at a tree, and there's his shadow, and he turns around, he's going, I have to kill you!
And she's like, and she just goes, why?
Because Rachel Zegler cannot act. She cannot emote. The biggest
she didn't look afraid.
All she could do is like jut her
Oh yeah, she jut out her chin. Like when he put down the knife, she's like,
that's her emoting, jutting her chin out when she's angry or confused. And then he's like, run! That's the level of
run before acting. I changed my mind.
Yeah,
is what he yelled. But it is so much was there at the beginning of that huntsman scene in the apple grove. I think really encapsulate why they think they're better than the original movie, because that's what this is. All the changes there were a problem with the original movie. We need to make it better. So in the original film, The huntsman takes her out and she finds a little bird and she's like, oh, I want to help the bird. Let's help the bird find its parents, and being really kind to this little animal. And apparently they thought, I don't think the audience is going to understand that she's a kind person. And I don't think that they'll understand why this justifies the huntsman's change of heart from murdering to letting her go. So instead, she grabs an apple and hands it to the huntsman, and he goes, "You're kind."
Okay.
And
Okay.
you have to, go ahead.
Okay. No, I haven't seen the original one in many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
But memory serves me right is that he hunted her down. He found her. He was about to kill her, but then had a change of heart because he realized like what he was doing was to somebody that was innocent, and ended up killing the pig and then sending the heart back.
Mm-hmm.
That's my memory is telling me.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't hunt her down, but yeah.
He was with her.
Okay.
He was with her.
And he was with her. Right. He was with her.
Mm-hmm.
He told her to flee into the forest.
There we go.
Afterwards.
Thank you, Dragon Lady. Thank you, because I haven't seen that Joan in. I was a little kid.
Yeah.
So that scene has now been butchered. That the huntsman is like a special needs kid, and
he's black too, Dre. He's black. This is a very diverse kingdom. This Germanic tale. There are Asians and black and brown people all over the place.
There's no white men in their prime except for Johnny the Prince, who's a thief. He's a commie thief.
An out-of-work actor, commie thief.
Mm-hmm. There are a few. Yeah, there's a couple white men in the village, but they're like all old or decrepit or kids.
I'm gonna just when we get to the ending, I'm gonna describe this to you. You're not gonna believe how.
Oh my god! But so in the flashbacks, the entire village was wearing the most colorful clothes ever. Everyone was so bright and colorful and all that. Then when the queen took over, everyone was wearing gray or muted colors. I just want to set that up. Remember that for when we get to the end. I think I know where Adam's going.
So the whole original movie, basically goes. Snow White wants to find true love. The prince is wooing her, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Evil queen, magic mirror, fairest one of all. This young girl's more beautiful than I am. I'm jealous. She has to die. Huntsman lets her go. She finds her way to the dwarven house and she cleans it. The dwarves come home. She convinces them to let her stay, and then they have happy goodness. Then evil queen finds out she's still alive. Transforms into crone. Poison apple. Dwarves come back. Chase her to her death.
Yes, up the mountain, right?
Yeah.
Then, oh, and she gets struck by lightning, right? And that's part of her death.
Well,
nearby
the boulder.
Yeah. But so lightning hit the cliff.
So they chase her to death, and then Prince Charming comes in, and True Love's kiss breaks the curse.
Yes,
everybody's happy. That's the original movie. Short, tight, sweet Disney version. It starts the Disney Empire essentially.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so here's what goes on in this movie. The long or the short of it. We already told you the prologue. So her mother, I assume, dies of cancer or something.
Yeah, they just say she gets sick and dies.
Yeah, sick and dies. Then here comes Gal Gadot, and I said in my review, and I think I'll agree. Listen, I'll take one for the team. She's evil. We're gonna take one for the team if she comes in like that. Okay, fine. I'm the dad. I'm not saying no. All right, but she's evil. She manipulates him and sends him off to a war to die and get killed. Then she takes over because she likes jewels. She likes jewels.
She has three speeches, Dre, where she's like, why would you want a flower? It's so beautiful, but it wilts. And then she makes it wilt with magic. But what's real beauty is a diamond. This will never corrupt. This will forever last. This
like
is
your
true
wilting
beauty.
flower. And so she uses she says she magic, and then she makes Snow White a serving girl, a maid, like real. And then here's where it takes a turn. Well, it's already taken a turn, but here's where it takes a real turn. So Snow White's first fake song is about how she should be empowered because she has a dream, a wish upon a wish to be the person she knows she can be. And then then she captures Johnny stealing food from the pantry, but he gets caught. And then she saves him. And because she tries to save him by standing up to the queen, suddenly that's what makes her fairer than the queen.
Because fair means just. Sometimes.
Yes. Until it means inner beauty later on. And then now the evil queen's jealous. And the narrator, you can't wait to tell you who the narrator is later.
Oh, God. Is it Josh Gad, the actor, though? It sounds like Josh Gad.
I don't know what the VA is, but anyway, wait till you find our narrators. So then Source, we described the huntsman thing, and she goes through the terror of the forest to the dwarf's house, which in this one is wrong because she imagines the nightmarish stuff in the original version. The trees aren't really alive. In this one, the trees are alive and trying to kill her.
Yeah, it's actually real. And then the rest of the forest is fine. It's just this one bad patch near the apples.
Then we're into the CGI nightmare of all these fake animals and stuff like that. Then she goes to the dwarf's house and just decides to take a nap.
Doesn't clean it up, just lies down in the filth.
Out. Then the dwarves, we get hi-ho, and horrible, goofy CGI nightmare animation. They're all terrible. They come back, they find her.
They're using minecarts as amusement park rides.
Yeah. And then skipping forward, we talked about the singing. Then introduce Johnny and his band of thieves, who were the exact same people we saw in those pictures from a year and a half ago.
Yeah. The mix
the
of people, colors, races, Jews.
Wearing hoodies.
Real dwarf.
Wearing hoodies and
modern day
clothes. Talking in modern day, and the one dude is actually basically a dwarf who we get over and over again told he's the greatest crossbow man in the land. I'll come back. Then she's going to save Johnny and his band of bandits after a few more songs, Princess Pat problems and this and that. Nobody can sing more. And then when all is said and done, we get to Evil Queen going crone mode to hunt her down to find a thing. We get the poison apple. She poisons her. She eats the apple, but then the queen just vanishes, disappears.
No.
Oh,
he didn't disappear. Yeah, it might have been in the copy you saw. That's why I wanted to reference the lightning earlier in the original version.
Okay.
The lightning strikes her and gives her teleportation powers. She summons a lightning bolt to teleport herself.
Okay, so she teleports away. Either way, she teleports away. And now at this point, what have the dwarves done this entire movie? Johnny and his merry band of thieves got their ass kicked by soldiers, and she saves them.
She fought by riding a horse away from the battle. That makes her a great warrior.
And making animals pretend to be her in clothing.
Stop.
And no, we're not stopping. I got to finish.
And
then she eats the apple, and the dwarves are just going to sit there and mourn.
Oh,
I'm getting there.
The apple?
Yeah, well, the apple with the skull on it.
No. The scene where she eats the apple.
Yeah.
There's more context with that. Are you getting to that?
I was going to go to Johnny and the dungeon next, but go ahead.
Well, so, I mean, that's the important part is Johnny in the dungeon. But so the thieves, Jonathan and all of them, they go out into the woods to distract the soldiers so Snow White can get away again and go find her father in the Southern Kingdom, who she thinks is alive for no reason whatsoever. And Jonathan's just walking through the woods like, oh, I'm the best. I'm so good at sneaking through the woods. I'm awesome. Just talking to himself. And then he steps on a trap and he just goes, I'm an idiot. And he gets caught in a net.
Again. Yeah.
And when the crone shows up, she says she's from Jonathan, warning.
She took the pendant that Snow White gave him.
Yeah. And so Snow White's like, I got to get to the castle. I got to rescue Jonathan. And the crone's like, oh, but before you go, I knew your father, and he was such a good communist. He gave everything he had to everyone else. So I want to honor his spirit by giving you this apple. It's all I have. And Snow White's like, I need to go rescue my boyfriend. Let me go. Well, okay. Thanks for being a commie like my dad. And then that whole happened.
Go rescue a guy who she's known for like 5 minutes, and they sang a couple songs at each other. And that's
at each other's the right way to say it. They just yell at each other, and it's like, oh, you're
their relationship. And
you're
then when
evil for being a princess.
After Johnny's been healed from wound, they all just sing and dance and have a party, and suddenly they realize we love each other.
Yeah, so earlier when she won that battle by riding away from the fight on a horse, and then the animals distracted the soldiers with her some leftover clothes, a crossbowman tries to shoot Snow White, and Jonathan gets in the way very bravely. That's important. At the end of the movie, he says he's never been brave before meeting Snow White. He steps in front of her, takes a crossbow bolt for her, and then they take her back to Doc and's like, hey, Doc, you're a doc. Can you heal him? And he's like, well, I'm actually a PhD in Igneous Magna. And they're like, well, you're still a doc. Please heal him. So he takes Jonathan into the house by himself and magically heals him somehow. When Jonathan walks out, he's totally fine, not dying anymore.
Not even wasted from being wounded.
Yeah, and just a little bit of blood on his lapel.
Like right here. It wasn't even a horrible wound. It was like
wasn't.
in the shoulder.
But after healing him, Doc walks out and he's like, I had to drill down to the bedrock and excise the bad rocks, and like doing these rock metaphors for how he
horrible dialogue. So then here's the point now. So Snow White eats the apple, and Johnny needs to escape the dungeon with the huntsman. And he gives
the
this
black
speech.
man's in chains.
He gives this speech. I never knew hope and bravery until Snow White told me I could be brave and hopeful. So she's like the source of everybody's courage, because then he arrives and the dwarves this morning. The dwarves do nothing. They sit there and mope. He shows up. He gives one of the saddest looking kisses ever.
It basically kisses her chin.
Yeah, like right here, like misses half her mouth. I mean, who would want to actually kiss Rachel Zegler, really? Anyway,
fair enough.
And then she wakes up, and we still got 20 minutes left.
Still more to go.
There's 20 minutes left of the movie, and they now have to go, because since the dwarves didn't chase the evil queen crone witch to her death, the queen is still alive. So now we have to go rescue the kingdom. And you think for a second, they're all like, we're doing it. And then suddenly, Dopey speaks. Dopey, who's literally a retard.
Oh, yeah.
He's a retard. No, in this one, he's just afraid to find his voice because everybody makes fun of him. But
yeah, he's straight up attacked. Like, he's bullied by the dwarves and aggressive. Like, they beat him up for being stupid in the movie.
Because he liked to look at fireflies. And so now he speaks, we can't be afraid anymore. And it turns out he's the narrator of the entire movie.
And it's like a completely normal voice.
Yeah, it's normal. It's not like, hi, I'm Dopey. No, it's just normal. Anyway, so now
I kind of wanted Morgan Freeman's voice to come out of him.
It would be funny. So now you think they're going to go to war. The dwarves like, we're going to go. Jonathan's like, I know a secret way into the palace. They go there. The dwarves and Jonathan sneak in, do absolutely nothing, because here's the penultimate moment of the movie. Here's the climactic moment. Snow White walks into town in her red hooded cloak, very red, takes it down, and everybody instantly recognizes her, even though they haven't seen her. She's been kept in the palace for
the beginning specifically said they forgot she existed and what she looked like.
Because she gave a wreath crown to a girl, she knows who she is.
And this girl still has the wreath crown and just
she puts it on. She just happens to put it on her. She puts it on, and then suddenly everybody starts singing. And Snow White starts singing, and Zegler marches them towards the gate, and you get a screenshot. It's Zegler and an army of old women and children singing and marching on the gate. And then the evil queen says, send out the troops. And the troops come out, and she threatens to kill Snow White. She tries to make Snow White kill her and show her that she's evil like she is. It's like, no, I can't. So then she orders a soldier to take this dagger she conjured to kill Rachel Zegler, Snow White. And Rachel Zegler then, she defeats them with the power of member berries. She says, I remember you and your backstory. I remember you and your backstory. I remember you and your backstory. You're good people. You all shared everything in our previous communist paradise. Don't you want to not kill me and help me take back the kingdom so I can be your perfect Rachel Zegler dictator? And they go, and they literally say this one after another. They just go, I remember. I remember. I remember. And then they turn on the queen. And then Gal Gadot screams and runs away up back to the mirror.
No. You're forgetting the real dwarf.
Yeah. She's gonna stab him, and the guy who goes, "I'm the greatest crossbow man in the land," shoots the dagger out of the hand with a crossbow he picked up in a montage when they're entering, because the dwarf nobody does anything. They just stand there.
That is the only person who does something. So after the guards betray Gal Gadot's evil queen, Gal Gadot goes to stab Rachel Zegler, and the real dwarf shoots the dagger out of her hand. That is the only thing anyone does in this sequence besides Rachel Zegler's march. The dwarves are just there. The magical dwarves are just standing there. We're here. We're here, by the way.
And then Gal Gadot Queen runs up to the magic mirror, says, why am I not the fairest of the land? Magic mirror says, because your beauty's only skin deep and Snow White's inner beauty is the real beauty.
Choke me with a
It's
chain.
not over. It's not over. It's not over.
She still can't survive the movie.
She breaks the mirror for some reason at a fit of rage, and then she turns into black smoke, which the mirror, who is the doorway to another dimension, absorbs her and sucks her into the other dimension. And then the mirror seals itself up, and it's over.
And Snow White's watching this whole thing, just flat expression.
That's the end of the movie. Then they all dance in white, and we're getting revealed that Dopey's been the narrator the whole time, and everybody's happy back in commie land.
That's what I wanted to point out. So yeah, before, when her parents were in charge, everything was super colorful and great and amazing. Then Gal Gadot made everyone wear gray clothes for some reason. And at the end, everyone gets perfectly white versions of their costumes. The same costumes, just perfectly white cult-like as they dance on tables. It's very culty.
This
So let me just
movie's
make sure I
insane.
understand.
It's stupid.
Let me make sure I understand. Gal Gadot breaks the glass of the mirror,
He's stuck on that.
and it sucks her in after it's broken.
It turns her
No,
to black mist.
it turns her into charcoal first.
Charcoal.
Yeah.
And then
And
sucks
then
her
just-
into the glass pieces.
Dimension.
Then the glass
It's another
restores
dimension.
itself.
Yeah, there's like this black void that Snow White looks at. He's like, oh, there's a void back there.
Okay, what y'all just described to me is so bad that it's making my eyebrows grow. Okay.
You want to know the best thing about this film? It's
Lay
just
it
beating
on me,
Dragon Ball.
lady.
It's just beating Dragon Ball Evolution as the worst film of all time.
That's saying something.
God,
Yeah.
man.
That's saying something.
First, y'all regaling that to me made me want to do unspeakable things to my wrist. This is oh my God.
It's bad.
Bruh.
really-
Okay. Here's my here's
Okay,
my
right.
oh, I got a lot of problems with what you all
Okay,
just said. to
yeah,
me,
go ahead.
First and foremost. Problem. But my biggest issue is the modern day isms of no one has any agency whatsoever.
None.
That bothers the crap out of me. What made see while y'all were sitting there regaling this garbage to me, I was actually started having nice flashbacks after I passed out for a second.
Didn't you?
Yeah. I was having nice flashbacks.
Your brain
the
tried to
original
protect
film.
you for a moment.
Yeah, like I remember right when the evil queen disguised herself and all that stuff and gave the poison apple and all that stuff. The freaking dwarves were incensed with what happened.
Rage.
They were freaking pissed, and they went Billy berserk on this broad.
Yeah.
These individuals who now we've gotten to know, of course, they're all represent, seven deadly sins, all that great stuff. But they all combined together despite their differences and like, no, this was unacceptable. You have violated the sanctity of somebody we hold dear, and we are going to murk you.
Yep.
And they chased that broad all the way up the daggone mountain, and then she had to, have a Disney death, obviously. But nonetheless, they took agency. They took things into their own hands because of what the horrible thing has been done. You just explained a climax to me in which no one does anything.
Member berries and singing.
No one. See, here we go. Let me tell you a little something here. Her showing up and taking the hood off, and then everybody recognizes whatever. I don't care about that. The soldiers, you have an oath to the crown. That is your oath, and the person who, let's call like it is, legally has right to the. Oh,
No, but Dre, one of them used to be a baker that gave bread to people if they had no money.
That's what their backstories were, is they used to be poor people.
They were all communists. Got it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and he was fully prepared to kill Snow White before she remembered his name. He's got the dagger. He's raising. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill this bitch because the queen told me to. Hey, Freddie, I remember your wife's name was Margaret, and you used to bake bread and give it to everyone and share all your belongings with the commune. That's his backstory. And he's like,
what's
oh
that
yeah.
got to do with me stabbing you in the neck? That ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
And then he walks away. He's like, yeah, I won't kill her.
This is my problem with a lot of this crap, and of course, I'm sure the handsome prince is useless. Just the same old tropes.
Stood there, did nothing.
Same old tropes. Everybody's useless. Everybody's a slave to this weird-looking half-breed. Everybody, I don't understand why we cannot separate ourselves from this ideology. Like growing up, I watched a lot of Disney movies coming up, and a lot of them, and like as you all know, we've established many years ago, Disney has always been a girl brand. It's not up for debate. It's
family
what
brand. I like to say family brand up until around mid 2000s. It was a family brand.
I think it has a family aura, but I think the brand it's for girls. Disney, like what we're known for, the Disney princesses. Those are the highest selling things in the history of Disney up until recently, because it was a brand. Like when you go into Halloween shopping, everybody's dressing up. All the little girls are dressing up as Snow White or Ariel or whatever.
Yeah, but then you had all the cartoons like Disney Afternoon that was geared towards kids of all kinds. So
I agree with you, Adam. I agree with you. It is by itself, in that it's a family company. Let me put it. It's a family company, but the brand that sold was the girl brands.
Yeah,
like even when
what the focus was on. There was other stuff that appealed to families, but yeah, I agree.
Like think of all the main titles, let's just say from like the 40s to even all the way up until the 90s, until things actually started having male protagonists. We didn't have male protagonists in Disney until what? The Black Cauldron?
There were all the live action movies from the 50s and the 60s that they made.
Yeah, but I'm talking about as far as when it was appealing most to the children. I'm not talking about like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and stuff like that. I'm talking about like as in the main brand. Yeah, you're old enough to remember that, Adam. You're old enough to remember Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And like all those joints, though they were animated female protagonists. And 9 times out of 10, the dudes were just featured there. Do you even know who the prince was in Sleeping Beauty? I don't.
Well,
he
fights Maleficent, though. He fights Maleficent.
What's his name, Adam?
He's the prince.
Okay. See, that's what I'm saying. Like they didn't matter, and which is fine, because even though it was a girl brand, guys can still enjoy it too, because there's still a little something for everybody to enjoy. And to your credit, Adam, the family aspect of things, the things that all qualities that people can accept that aren't crazy people. What you've just described to me is an abomination so bad that I'd rather hang upside down while drinking a high C. Okay? This is a nightmare.
Yeah.
I don't know how anyone can enjoy this. Men, women, children. It's garbage.
Well,
it's garbage.
You're
Dopey
right.
people.
I said that in my review. This movie isn't made for anybody. It's because you watch this. It's a jangled mess of scene to scene to scene, bastardizing the famous iconography. That's all it is. There's no coherency to this movie, and everybody just talks their lines. And I wish I had said this during my review. I thought about it the other day. Jed, you can probably agree with me on this. Every song is an exposition dump.
Oh, absolutely.
That's all the songs are. The songs, it's songs for the use of exposition, not songs to enlighten and enliven and character build. Songs to exposition dump and try and explain relationships or events. That's all they are. So you mentioned that. Who is Snow White live action for? Who is this made for? Nobody, because we have our numbers. We have our Sunday privilege. Our box office. Jed knows it. Trey, have you seen this yet?
I haven't seen the
worldwide yet.
As far as today, I haven't seen.
Okay. I'm going to say this: we were cowards last week.
We
were cowards. I should not have let you guys bully me off my initial 200 take, because 87 million.
And that's all markets, no staggered release.
Markets,
all major markets at least.
Yeah.
80.
I mean, this is worse than we even predicted. It's not even going to break $100 million on opioid. This is possibly the worst Disney premiere of all time.
Oh my god!
This might be worse than the Marvels too. And the bad, awful predictions domestically leading up to this film, I think were 57 million.
Yeah,
domestically was the low ball. Oh my god, this is going to be disaster predictions, and it fell well below that.
So even with their fake ass budget here of 269 million, which we know is bullshit. This thing's a 350 if I'm a day. There is no way they make money on this.
That's bad. That is
Let's
wow.
look at the details. Let's go down to the details.
That's deep.
They pulled in $3.5 million on the Thursday night premiere, then 16, 15, 11. Nobody saw this movie.
Good Lord Almighty!
I think they're going to drop down to 1 million domestically in the week on days.
Wow.
And we don't have exact numbers. Oh, did you have some numbers now? Oh, they updated it. Nice. China, $900,000 in China.
It's over. It's over.
My God, Argentina made more money for this film than China.
Yeah.
UK with the biggest haul at 5.1 million.
Oh my
total.
God.
And you remember, UK, these are the people that are supposed to go see her play Evita now in the coming months. Yeah.
Her career is doing really well. It's not at all that she's had exclusively box office flops. Because, her major films, West Side Story, major flop, and politically driven. The whole, it's racist to have subtitles for the Spanish text but in America, but not racist to have Spanish subtitles for the English text in Mexico. That's the only thing I remember about the movie. Shazam 2. Failure.
That's not her fault, but
it's true, but that is one of her major
I can be fair. I can be fair.
Hunger Games? Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes?
There's still no evidence it actually made money. There's no evidence. They say maybe it broke even. Y2K.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Why does she have a career? She's never had a profitable film.
I don't know. And I said it before, I'm going to say it again. I hope this is, with the exception of the next couple of weeks, again, we're on break next week, when we come back and check the box office, I hope this is the last time we ever talk about her. Because you got to understand, I don't enjoy talking about Rachel Zegler because she is a blight on humanity. She makes things worse. She has no redeeming qualities. She's not that pretty. Her talent is minuscule. Her voice is tiny. She cannot act. She has the ability. She has the ability to emote by opening her eyes real wide and jutting out her chin. That's the capability of her emotion. And when she does her fake acting, she just talks the lines in modern day accent. There's no actual transformation into anything else. And you look at her disrespect to the properties she's involved with, to the people who are supposed to be her customer, to everything. There's a reason nobody showed up for this. It's not because of Gal Gadot. There are people who there's a fake meme out there. You say you're going this because you hate Rachel Zegler. I'm not going to see this because I hate Gal Gadot. We are not the same. No, Gal Gadot is not moving the needle on this failure.
And it's just retarded because, there's a big difference between, hey, I hate her because of the country she was born in versus us, she's awful because of all the nonsense that she says.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the hate for Gal Gadot is just
actual racism. That's actual racism.
It's 100% unequivocally racism. Like, it's not even hyperbole. And that's the part, and that is the part that bothers me. It's like I'm not gonna go support this movie because there's a Israeli woman in it who was also an Israeli soldier at one point in her life. So because she is from Israel and served her country,
well, no, it's mandatory to serve 2 years in the military in Israel. Yeah. It was compulsory. She did not have a choice to serve in the military.
Yeah,
that makes it even worse.
That's what I mean.
That someone would hate her for it. That's even worse.
Yeah.
So this. So like the hate for her. Now, if you want to say that she can't act, I agree with you. Look, I love Gal Gadot because she's hot.
Yes,
she's a terrible actress. She's bad in everything. Let me be clear.
Yeah,
everything.
Mm-hmm.
But that's her brand. Her brand is I can't act, but I'm hot. And I accept. But to say that, like, oh, I'm going to boycott this film or not go see this film because a woman was born somewhere, that's messed up, man.
That's
all these progressive people. Like,
these are the people who call us all the names.
Yeah.
So this movie has failed because Rachel Zegler is a horrible person. But watch my review. Never once, outside of a couple of side jokes about her, which I just kind of slip under there for half a second, I never talk about Rachel Zegler in the movie in my review. And as a person, I talk about her performance. I talk about the movie. This movie all out. So take Rachel Zegler out, and you still have a bad movie.
Yep.
Jed can confirm this. It's still a bad movie on every possible way to describe it, from music to acting to costuming. You can go to a Disney theme park and have a Snow White cast member in a better dress than what they have her in this 300+ million monstrosity. You can go to probably some sort of fan revival who just want to sing the songs and have better performances of classic songs than the garbage they created for this movie. You can go to, and I'll say this, somebody might yell at me for this, you can have somebody program in this shit to an AI right now, and you'll get something that looks better than the CGI monstrosities you had in this movie. The pacing is bad. The acting is bad. The story makes no sense. You can feel because you have communism in the beginning, sprinkling it in the middle, and smacking you in the face at the end. You can feel that this was a different movie 2-3 years ago when they first did it. You can feel that that they cobbled together something to get out there. Nobody has any chemistry with each other on screen. It's just a bad movie. Rachel Zegler just adds the secret sauce of, wow, everybody in the world hates her. So no one's going to go see it on top of that because of that reason. But those of us who have seen it, we can objectively say it's also just a bad movie, and that has nothing to do with Rachel Zegler's real world antics. This movie's terrible, but the shills, they're going to try and convince us. Variety. Disney's Snow White is the fairest of them all on box office charts, with the musical earned $16 million across. I mean, that's, and here's the article where it's going to be hidden in here. They mentioned also Alto Nights, the Robert De Niro movie, which I did predict was going to do shit, and apparently it is. It's already off to a bad start. So I got 2 L's this week, baby. I got 2 on my yearly prediction.
Good Lord.
They are trying to protect this, and here's the tier. Now we begin the countdown. How long before the shills abandon protecting this? A couple of them already started. I mean, I saw, but it was like a half-ass way. I think it was either a CBR or Shill Rant article. 10 reasons why Snow White failed. Not one of them said Rachel Zegler and her performance. It was everything else that was wrong in the movie. So they're trying to still protect her to this last moment. But how long before they have to abandon that? How long now that we're here? And I kind of hope it doesn't happen this week. Or I kind of hope it happens this week, not the following week, because I won't be able to cover it. Because I won't be in front of my computer. The Rachel Zegler meltdown. How long? Has it happened? We don't know it yet. It's going to happen. I mean, how long till she does it? I want to think it happens this week. Because there's nothing holding her back now. The contract's over. Contract's over. I mean, it's not like if there was a contract clause of you have to keep your mouth shut, otherwise you won't get your royalties from the movie. This thing ain't going to make royalties.
Yeah, she doesn't need to worry about that.
That we know.
Yeah.
I mean, her contract would carry through its theatrical run. Mm-hmm. So I imagine once it gets announced on Disney Plus.
But does Disney care enough to muzzle her at this point anymore?
No, I mean, I doubt they would enforce it, but
yeah,
contractually that still probably exists.
That's what's going to be on Disney Plus next month, yo.
Oh, so all right. So you think it's on Disney Plus in a month?
April,
absolutely,
100%. I'll bet the farm on it.
Okay.
April.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
With these numbers, Adam. With these numbers.
Oh yeah.
Next month.
Yeah. I can't be happier that it turned out this way. Oh, Adam, you're not being objective. You're being biased. Damn straight, I'm being biased. This is everything we said it was going to be. I get to take my victory lap right now. All right.
Yes, you can.
This movie is hard. This woman is horrid, and everybody who supports her is horrid. I quote tweeted something just because I felt like it. They have it's a collage of her. Everybody who hates her, you have to die and go to hell. That was what they say. If you don't like her, you have to die and go to hell. My response: well, it must be hell on earth because everybody hates her.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
And she brought it on herself, and see, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like everybody, like all these folks that usually have this ideology, all be like, this is like when the cancel culture was moving, they're like, this isn't cancel culture, this is consequence culture. Well, here are the consequences. The idea is this: you ran your mouth, you told people to go screw themselves, and they said you're a terrible human being, and we're no longer going to support you. They took their hard-earned dollars and spent it on Rita's ice cream, because that's what I did. I did, and I have no sympathy for. Well, I have no sympathy for Disney in general, but I have no love lost for Rachel Zegler. I've made my opinions very clear and known last week on what needs to be done in order to solve her attitude problem, and it would involve a BBC of some sort. Now, this individual has made her bed. Now she has to lie in it. Period. You worked hard for your reward. You worked for this. All you had to do was keep your half-breed mouth shut, and then you would have just had an ordinary bomb, and everybody would have went home.
Yeah.
But no, you had to open your filthy whore mouth, and now it's ruined.
Dre, I got called a MAGA racist last week for my commentary. You're a MAGA. Oh, you're just a MAGA racist. Bye. Where does she do anything wrong? This is where we are. The name calling has begun, and that's what we're going to get now. We're going to get name calling. Hopefully, a Zegler meltdown, and we're just going to watch this thing. So, let's revise our predictions because I think it's fair. Because, you know what? I'm going to revise 150 to 200. That's
how can I even argue?
I said 200 to 250 because y'all bullied me because I was like, oh, it's not going to be that bad, Adam. Don't make that kind of statement. No, I'm going to go back down now to 150 to 200. I don't think anybody goes to see this. If you start off at 87 million, where does more money come from at this point?
I've got no answer.
I imagine the percentage drop will seem good, but just because the amount that it's already at the low, I think probably about a 50% drop. But even with a 50% drop, that's 40 million next weekend.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think it's making 200.
You make a perfect point. This is one of those times where, because it's such a small initial opening take, we're not expecting a 70% drop, but a 50% drop is abysmal. You go nowhere. That this is one of those rare cases where it may say 50, but that's just as bad as a 70% drop.
Yeah, because you only made 40 million domestically, so I'll be 20 million next week.
Yeah.
So
and the rest of the world, they'll drop 50 as well.
I think the world's going to drop much lower. I think international is going to just fall off a complete cliff in general.
$900,000 in China.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
They couldn't give a shit about this movie.
Good Lord. That's crazy.
So we will be back to talk about this a little bit later than normal, and we'll keep track of it because we've got about a month of tracking the box office, and we'll see if around April 20th, 25th, if this is put on Disney Plus, if they just pull the plug and say F it. We're done.
It's definitely going to be a Disney Plus.
Moving on to Thunderbolts, our next failure.
Oh.
All right. We're done with that. Okay. Real quick from Jay Frazier, 360 for £5 Hail Roundtable. Hold on to your butts. R.I.P. Doctor Who lands on April 12th. Adam, I recommend you as a guest for Salty Saturday on Salty Nerd Podcast. Well, thank you, Jay Frazier. Thank you very much. Last time you did that, it did get me on the show, so I appreciate the support. And yes, even though we won't all be there at the start, Doctor Who Cares Reviews will begin its final run because it's probably going to be our last run, Jay.
I pray. At least a 20-year break. Give us a 20-year break.
Begin our last run for Shooty Who Season 2, starting on April 12th. We'll be doing Doctor Who Cares Reviews on Mondays. So the episodes drop on Saturdays. We're going to do them on Mondays, right before Mellow Mondays. Go ahead.
Oh, did you hear they released the episode titles today?
Oh, they did?
Mm-hmm. Do you want them? I have them right here.
I would love to see these titles.
They're going to blow you away. They're going to blow you away.
That's what Shooty wants to do.
Oh, God.
We've got The Robot Revolution, written by Peter Hoare. I think he's the guy who's coming back from the Chibnall era. So, real stellar person. We've got Lux. It sounds sexual. Lux is usually associated with like strip clubs. So
I'm sure it is.
Okay.
And it looks like it's in the 50s or something. So
no.
The Well. It's a really thoughtful
Shooty down a well and leave him there.
We've got Lucky Day.
Tits.
And that's the return of Millie Gibson. So it looks like she's going to be in Lucky Day.
Tits.
Tits. The tits are back. The Story and the Engine.
Ooh, spider.
That sounds racial. I
Are
feel
those
like this is a
black
Wild West story.
dudes sitting there with mugshots?
Yes.
Oh, this
And
is
it's
Black
in a
Planet.
barbershop.
That's gonna be African Planet. That's gonna
God.
be African Planet, where he had like where Dre spotted the razor had the idol on the thing. Yeah.
It sure did. It sure did. I smell nigras. I can smell it.
The 2 hour 30-second mark.
All right, go. I don't want to look at that spider anymore. Scroll. I don't want to see that anymore.
The International Song Contest, which is Space Eurovision.
That's gonna make our ears bleed.
Wish World, written by Russell T Davies, and it's an important thing to note. I got more information on Wish World from another
Everyone's
tweet.
gonna be gay.
It's a world constructed by bone, and people assume that the wish part is a nod to the wishbone.
Penis.
You can kind of see it in the architecture. There's a bunch of bones on this planet. It's really, really thoughtful.
This is gonna be terrible. All right.
And that's the first part of the 2-part finale. We're already at the penultimate episode with Wish World.
How many episodes? 5?
8.
And the reality war is the final episode.
Well, their reality is going to collapse on them when this is over because it's done. It's over. Not even a Christmas special. Not even a Christmas special, I think. So
yeah, I don't think they have enough left because they're spending all their remaining episodes on the spin-off show, The War Between the Land and the Sea.
Thanks for
which
making
is
me watch
such
that
a
too.
mouthful of a title.
Yeah.
I don't know when that comes out.
You're still going to make me watch it.
Probably.
Yeah. Right. So Doctor Who Cares of Rules will return on April 14th, I believe, is a Monday. So, and we'll be back every time. And it won't be until like the second episode where we'll all be back. Dermy might have a scheduling conflict. Jed will definitely have a scheduling conflict. He's not even going to be here. So,
I'm going to be out of the country.
So we'll try and get.
I'll be in Dragon Lady's backyard. I could watch Doctor Who on BBC Live. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Stand on the cliff and piss on it. So it's almost time for that. So that's sooner than you think. That's really only like 3 weeks away. So it's gonna be great. 4 weeks for you, so you'll be fine. Anyway, there you go. Now I did have one more topic, but we are to our mark, and I don't want to push it too much longer because Jed does have to go.
Oh, I can reschedule that.
No, it's fine. No, I'm going to push it off anyway. I've lost my gas for that. I'm going to push that smart out of Mel Mondays. Get a little more. Listen, we're tame here. I'm going to leave it for Mel Mondays where we get a little more salty, a little more angry. You know, I don't care. All right, listen. I say things on this one. I say worse things on Mellow Mondays. We know this. So I'm gonna push it off to there. So just a tease. The Disney Star Wars stands are once again trying to push the idea that Star Wars is political. So it's that time of year already. So we're gonna have a little conversation. Just a little one about why they're wrong. It always will be wrong. Anyway, so there we go. We are done, and we're done for a couple of weeks because all of us are not going to be here next week. We literally all will be doing stuff that will not put us in front of our computers. So no roundtable next week. If you are just arriving my channel, I know I've had some new subs recently. If you're arriving here, I'm sorry I cannot provide my normal, consistent streaming, but next week I'm not going to be
He's going to be looking at titties instead.
Yes. Yes. while you watch me look at the titties.
Well, now we're getting somewhere.
Yes, I'm going to Florida to hang out with Jed for a week. So
Nice.
we will not be doing roundtable next weekend. We'll be back the following weekend, but Jed won't be there. Just me, Dre, Dragon Lady, and some probably poor schmo I'll grab from someplace.
No, I won't be here that following weekend.
Oh, I'll figure something out. Jeez. Y'all kill me. I thought it was this weekend you're not going to be here.
No, next week.
No, this next one. Okay. All right. I got it mixed up. All right. Either way, it's going to be a couple weeks before we're all back here. So you might get a break. I might do something else. We'll see what happens either way. But for the rest of this week, we still have content. Jed, what you got?
I have a busy week this week because I'm trying to get through as much of Assassin's Creed as possible before I have to take a couple weeks off like you're talking about. In about half an hour here, maybe a little bit sooner if I can get set up in time, I will be playing Assassin's Creed Shadow on YouTube and Kick at Hollywood Scholar. Check me out there. Probably going to stream it again tomorrow night as well. And then Tuesday night, I will be on Tuesday night's main event on the Geeks and Gamers channel talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows and probably Snow White and everything else that we're talking about. Wednesday, Geeks and Gamers gaming stream that night. I think we're playing Mario Kart again because there's the lead up to the Switch 2. Thursday night, I'm going to be on Geeks and Gamers Locals over there. We're going to be doing the MLB opening day all day. All the games that are going on that day, people will be live on Geeks and Gamers Locals watching all those games. I'll come in around 8 o'clock and fill in a slot there and watch some baseball because, as everyone knows, I'm an expert on sports. I'm just the most sports-heavy person anyone's ever met. We're going to base some balls so well that night. It's going to be glorious. Ball basting. And then that's all I've got for the week because the weekend starts and I've got other things going on, real world stuff. So until then, it's every day I'm doing something until then, trying to slip in as many Assassin's Creed streams as I can.
You slip it in there.
And that might be enough. I don't know if I'll come back after this break to stream more Assassin's Creed Shadows. I intend on finishing it, but streaming it, who wants to see me suffer that long? Like, I imagine the audience has a sadistic meter, and it's reaching its fill. It's reaching its fill.
All right. Dre, I got it wrong. You're not going anywhere this weekend.
It's all good. I got so much crap going on anyway. But anyway, so this week on hopefully I will be getting my copy of Yaira number 2 this week, and I will be definitely doing a review on that. So stay tuned to that on the Brutal Playing Comics YouTube channel. That's definitely going to be something to behold. And as Adam said, I won't. Well, obviously, we all won't be here next coming week, but the week after next, I will not be here because I will be at the Walter E. Convention Center in Washington, D.C. at table I-11 for AwesomeCon. So for anybody that's in the D.C. area during that time period, please come see me. I would love to shake everybody's hands, meet people face to face, all that beautiful, wonderful stuff. Definitely come on through there. I'll be there all day, April 4th through the 6th. So lots of good stuff going on. Lots of busy stuff going on. So it's going to be pretty freaking sweet. And contact me on Twitter, X at DeBrute00.
And you get to watch more Daredevil. Yay. Dragon Lady.
I should be doing some simming. I also put in my review for Gladiator 2. You can check that out. I also won't be here next week because it's Mother's Day for us in the UK. So
literally, we're all gone.
Yep.
Yeah, basically.
So can't be a show. As for me, for the next 4 days, you'll get semi-usual stuff. Tonight, I will, as always, be joining Duke Devil, Bradley Burnett, Fracture Filter, and Jay Hitman for another episode of Wormhole Watch, which Brad will then edit down and put on his channel. We're just enjoying good old-fashioned DS9 Real Star Trek. I might be on another show tonight if they need me. I might come off the bench to help out, but I'm not going to say if I'm going to be there or not. So you'll know. I'll let you know if I am. Monday, Mel Mondays tomorrow. You already told you got one top. I got a few other things carried over from last week because everybody with either sick or had another show they had to be on. So I said, F it, we'll play Suikoden. I will try and finish Suikoden 1 this week for you guys. We only have about an hour and a half left to it. We would have finished it the other day if I hadn't effed up and missed a couple of characters that I had to go back and redo shit to make sure I got everybody. I did it. We're all ready to go. Everything's fine. So we might finish that up. Rest of the week, it's covering probably more Snow White Fallout. I will be recording several videos that will be posted for the following week where I won't be out. So I'll make a post in my community tab about what's going on exactly, how long I'll be gone. But there'll be some pre-recorded stuff, of course, pre-recorded, you know what I mean, pre-prepared stuff that will be posted. Definitely not related to any whatever news might break in that week, but just so that you guys have something to watch. And, I've got to feed the algorithmic beast. Got to do it. So no drive-in next week. No drive-in the following week. We'll be back for drive-in in 3 weeks because, as I goofed last night, just because Doctor Who airs on Saturday doesn't mean we're not doing drive-in. Either way, more gaming coming, a lot more gaming coming. I actually did manage to make Pal World work again on the PC. So I own it on multiple things right now. It worked better on the service I got now. If I enjoy a couple other games that I'm going to start playing, I might stream them or I might do some recordings. We'll see. We've got Lunar Remastered coming in April. They still haven't got – I can't even pre-order it yet. That's bugging me. It's literally less than a month away, and there's no pre-order for it yet anywhere. And I want physical copy. I don't want digital. So look forward to that. A lot of good stuff coming in April that we're going to make fun of. A lot more. It's going to kick off a crazy-ass spring and summer, and we'll be back in full strength in a couple of weeks. We're happy to have all of you here. We're happy to have all your support. Thank you, each and every one of you, for being here and just helping us continue to grow. We're looking forward to making this year another banger year, and we're going to keep providing fun and entertaining takes because that's what we do in our own special way. Anyway, thank you one and all. We hope you have a good rest of your day. Until then, take it easy, guys.